Hey guys, Justin Kimmel, professional fish head with the Bass University here. I'm here with Big Bass Bobby Lane at the Major League Fishing Midway. Bobby is fresh off a 12th place finish. Bobby, congrats on that finish. I know it was a close call.
Yeah, it was, but this is an all-new format for me. This is the first Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour, and this was the first event that we've actually fished cup style that I'm used to, and I'm not real content with 12th just because it was in Florida, but with the weather that we were dealt with this week prior to the event, if you would have asked me 12th after practice, I would have signed the thing off and gone home for sure.
Now, Bobby, you're known as Big Fish Bobby Lane. Did you alter your strategy at all for these things?
I didn't alter my strategy at all. I first 2 days I fished just like I would any other style event. I mean, if I was fishing for 5 big fish, that's exactly the way I fished this whole entire week. And down here in Florida, you don't have to get, or basically anywhere, little fish eat big baits also. Big fish eat big baits. You got to keep that in mind. You got to catch fish. I mean, and at 5 or 6 pounder here was equivalent to a guy catching 6 fish, which took him a while to do that. So, it's something that I didn't have to get used to. It's something maybe some of the other guys did that are brand new, hot off, coming off a 5 fish limit, weighing them in on stage. For their first week here, it might have been difficult for them. But I've been in Major League Fishing for 7 years now. I'm used to this format, and I've never changed my style once since we began Major League Fishing, and I don't plan on changing it now.
Awesome. So get into the strategy this tournament specifically. What was your go-to ace in the hole for putting fish in the boat?
I tried to, what my goal was is, I got caught up in some bad rounds. The second day of my round, I was in Group B, and I fished on Wednesday and Friday, and I got myself caught up in trying to advance, which is 20th place. And the way to advance is you have to be 20th or better to make it into the shotgun round. You're weight 0, and then you move on to the shotgun round. I was in the elimination round, and I was flipping and I was frogging almost every single fish. Throwing a little stick bait around. I was throwing the general max scent, and I also threw power bait. I threw 2 different colors. I threw everything on 15-pound fluorocarbon, 100%. I flipped 1.5 ounce weight, 65-pound braid. If a 1 pounder is going to eat that bait going through there, I was throwing the creature hog, max scent, black and blue. If a 1 pounder is going to eat it going through there, then a 4 pounder could eat it. A 10 pounder can eat it. I mean, it was just a matter of putting it in front of the fish at the right time. And the reason I probably was I put a lot of stress on myself because it's so gut wrenching when you're in them final few moments, and either you have to catch a fish or you're hoping somebody else doesn't catch a fish to knock you out, and then you go on to the next event, or do you catch a fish in advance to try to get yourself into the shotgun round where weight 0. And it definitely benefited me one round, the elimination round. I got myself into the shotgun round. I got myself into 8th place yesterday in the shotgun round itself, and then fell out in the last 4 minutes. So I kind of got the taste of both worlds in this one.
For guys that are just kind of learning and just coming down to Florida to vacation, and it happens a lot, what kind of advice can you give them to approach these, shallow, grassy, weedy lakes of Florida?
Yeah, you always hear a pre-spawn, post-spawn fish, and that's exactly what we're dealing with this week. Some have already spawned, not very many, but there's a lot of new ones coming up, and some are actually trying to spawn. They're up around the beds, and they just won't eat. What I like to do is, first and foremost, is run to the north end of any kind of lake that I'm in, whether it be Okeechobee, whether it be right here in Toho, whether it be Garcia, like where these guys are. Get to the far north side of it. That's where the wind is going to be protected the most. You're going to be where the wind can't really blow too much, but also that's where the water heats the fastest. If it's a creek, go to the north end of an arm off the creek. If a creek faces south, find an arm that faces north. That's the one that's going to get the most sun. It's good for pre-spawn, it's good for post-spawn, and those fish just live in those kinds of areas year-round. For down here, the way I like to target fish is look for the cleaner water in a north pocket. I love to throw something moving around. If I can catch a few of the smaller fish, then slow down, drop your power poles, and really pick an area apart. One thing that a lot of guys have a hard time remembering, which it didn't happen to me this week, but it's happened many a times for me, is when you catch one fish 5 pounds or bigger, just always remember that he's never alone. So really slow down, drop your power poles, and fish super slow and pick that area apart, because where there's one, there's always another one.
Well, Bobby, great job anyways. 12th place is a great start to your season. And if you guys want to see more exactly about what Bobby is talking about, his strategy, I think we filmed every single technique that Bobby does in Florida. Yep. You can see it on bassu.tv. You can take a 10-day free trial with the code TRYBU, and I bet you in those 10 days you can see every single video Bobby has. But
I wanted to say I really enjoyed doing that with you guys down here in South Florida, and I'm hoping the more we travel with the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour, we're going to be going one day on, one day off, and there's a possibility that maybe we'll be able to do some more filming in different states, and kind of after a round that I'm going through and maybe I do really well, I can explain to people out there how I caught the fish that time of the year and give you guys maybe something different to look at than just your everyday go-to bait. So hopefully we can make that happen and get that done this year for you guys.
That's awesome. Thanks.